Hello everyone and welcome to the Zelda Cast here on ZeldaDungeon.net. My name is Andy Spiteri, joined by Allison Aletha. Al, we are celebrating 350 episodes of this podcast, aka about 7 years today.
That's insane.
It's a long time.
That's insane. When I tell people, like, they're like, oh, you have a podcast? That's cute. And I'm like, yeah, 350 episodes. And they're like, what the hell?
It's a long time.
It's a long time.
A lot of Zelda has been discussed on this podcast throughout the years. I was doing the math not that long ago, and I don't remember what the math is now, but I was like, I wonder if there is a YouTube channel or basically anyone that doesn't, like, their full-time job is not Legend of Zelda. I was like, I wonder if there is anyone that has spoken more about this series than you and I. In terms of, like, minutes spent talking about it.
I don't know.
We've got to be up there.
I would think so. I think we would be up there. Because, like, a lot of other Zelda podcasts, they're, like, seasonal.
Right.
We're
a lot
weekly.
of YouTube videos are like 20 minutes or so.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of minutes.
I see what you're saying about that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody should do the math for us.
That's a lot of dang minutes over the years, that's for sure.
I just did some math because I don't remember the exact episode that I joined. It was in the 170 range, so I've been on about 180 episodes.
Well,
let's see.
If we go 60 minutes, and let's go 75
rough.
minutes just to be generous, because that's more
accurate.
accurate.
So 180 times
So
7.
let's go 75, and then we'll go times 52, which is 100. Oh god. Okay, I can't math right. So 75 minutes times 52, not plus 52. That's just under 4,000 minutes per year. Times 7, that is 27,300 minutes spent talking about this series.
75 times 350.
I don't know. Good question. That works too, I guess.
Say the number of minutes again.
Just above 27,000 minutes.
And divided by 60 to get the hours.
So divided by 60 to get the hours, that is going to look like 455 hours on the dot.
Insane. And that's like rough, you know? It could be
rough.
It probably is more because we've had some like 2-hour-long episodes.
But 2-hour-long episodes, we've had bonus episodes, we've had
our
marathon
Patreon.
where we're counting Patreon,
Yeah.
A lot of Zelda that's being discussed. So yeah, just we're here to celebrate today, actually, and we're doing a different kind of show where we wanted to pause and we wanted to just reflect and celebrate the accomplishment. And I know we're patting ourselves on the back here, but I mean it's pretty cool. 7 years for a podcast, a weekly podcast where there really hasn't been a lot of weeks off. I think that's pretty darn impressive and worth just putting ourselves over just for a little bit. So, and I wanted to say, actually, although, this is episode 350 and I've been on since day one, I don't think that the show really found itself until you and I kind of were the guys.
Got our groove.
Our groove, yeah. Which is probably about 150 episodes in, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe less, I don't know. But, yeah, I think that you certainly kind of helped us get to where the show needed to be. So thank you, Al, and of course thank you to everyone that's listened over the last 7 years. This podcast has, quite literally been like a life-changing event. It worked into my schedule weekly, worked into a lot of different things. So it's been really cool. We did want to give everybody, just a shot. We wanted to keep it a little bit more casual this year. We didn't want to do like a big crossover event like with Omega Metroid or anything like that. Because
you've got something else going on over there.
We've got our hands full, and they cannot be any fuller right now on Omega.
Yeah.
So we wanted to keep the Zelda Cast a little bit more casual, and we thought, hey, it'd be kind of cool if like we did a little AMA and just gave people the chance to ask us anything, not about Zelda, but just like about us, about the show, about the podcast, about life, about what we like. So it's gonna kind of be a little bit of a weird episode because it's not necessarily about Zelda. There is a couple Zelda questions, of course, that are mixed in, but there's a couple Lord of the Rings questions about movies. So this is really a show, I guess, about us, you know, as podcasters rather than about Zelda itself.
Yeah, I mean, we celebrate Zelda every week, but this is our podcast, so maybe we could just celebrate us this week.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Well, I'll tell you what, though. Before we get started, Al, we do have to talk about something, okay?
Okay.
Zelda Dungeons Fall Brawl New Year's Evil has officially launched. It's like a mini version of Fall Brawl. There's 32 entries, and all 32 are villains in the series. So Sam and I actually did a prediction episode over on Patreon this last month, which was a blast. And she made a bracket, and she picked Twinrova to beat Varen in the finals. And I was like, that's like an Alice and Aletha prediction. That's a crazy bracket that you have there, babe. But okay.
I mean, I love Twinrova winning. That's great.
Now, we are a couple days into the contest here, Al, and the standings as such have very few people with perfect brackets left. Now, if I were to ask you to take a guess, who you think is one of the 4 people with a perfect bracket left and who is leading the entire pack, number 1 overall, could you guess who that might be?
It's gonna be Sam.
It's not gonna be Sam. Close though.
I'm trying to take the wind out of your sails here.
There's a common name.
Is it Andy Spiteri?
It is. I am leading the pack right now, Al. Number 1, predictions flawless.
God.
Today is looking great too. All my predicted winners are winning. It's looking good.
I just voted. If I had known that.
Not even Astor is going to ruin my day. I was a little bit worried.
Oh my
about
God!
Astor.
Nobody. I don't know who these 16 people are who would vote for Astor, but
yeah, you know what? Samantha took Astor over Aghanim, and I was just like,
really?
What? Come on. I mean, she doesn't know who anybody is, but I was just like on vibes and looks. I was like, come on. I
mean, the vibes and looks. We all had high hopes for Astor, and then he wound up being very not great.
That is true. That is true.
I forgot to do my predictions, so I don't have one. But I want Master Koga to win the whole banana.
A whole banana. Okay. I think that's a fine pick to win, but I don't think
he is gonna win. But I would like him to.
Right. Well, yes. You know, Al, as a veteran, a previous winner of this tournament. I do feel it is apropos that I'm leading the pack here, Al, and we'll see if I can repeat and pull off another victory in Fall Brawl to add to my previous accolade. Actually, I don't think I won Fall Brawl. I think it was Musical March Madness, but
yeah.
So number 1 right now, baby. That's right.
Oh my God. You gotta put that on your resume.
Yeah. Okay. So we wanted to go ahead and like we said, we wanted to just throw a prompt out there for everybody. If you have any questions, let us know and we'll answer them. Like we said, a lot of them aren't about Zelda, which is actually really cool because, like, you know, after talking Zelda for 455 hours, you do sometimes want a little bit of a variance. So yeah, that's what we got going on this week, and I guess, Al, we should just get into it here if you're ready.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Now I'm going to ask you, I'm going to paraphrase this to you as well, because I want to get your take on this. But this is from our pal Josh, not Josh Zielinski, Josh W.
Josh W.
Josh W. is a big Penguins fan, Pittsburgh Penguins fan, which is why he's asking this question. If Andy had to root for any other NHL team, which would he choose and why? So I want to throw that back on you as well, because you're not like a hockey fan, but are you a football fan?
I used to be pretty deep into football, but like in recent years, football's gotten kind of nuts, so I don't really watch it anymore.
Okay, yeah. I knew that at one point you liked football, but I didn't know if you still did. Is there any sports that we can relate this to for you?
I have an answer. It's just not an NHL team. I was gonna say my brother Andy plays hockey. He's on a team, not any kind of professional team, but they do like recreational stuff here.
Okay.
And so I'm gonna root for his team.
Okay, but if you had to root for another team, who are you going to root
Oh
for?
my God, I don't know. I don't know any of the NHL teams.
Okay. So to answer this question, so I live in Calgary, Alberta, and so our NHL team is the Calgary Flames. They're my team, obviously. I will say, I was a big fan. I shouldn't say was. I still am a big fan of the Ottawa Senators. And the reason why is because when I was growing up, Ottawa just had like such an awesome team. Like they had all these stars. They scored a ton of goals. They had like Daniel Alfredson, Danny Heatley, Spezza. Like they just had like an awesome, really fun team to watch. And I really enjoyed the Senators. And even like back in 2017 when they had like Erik Karlsson and some of their new up and comers, I was a big Sens fan. I still am a big Sens fan. So that is my answer. But, and I think this answer will make you happy, Josh. If I was to pick a third team, it's probably the Penguins. It's probably Pittsburgh Penguins. And this is going to be a generic cliche answer, but I mean, Sidney Crosby, man. Sidney Crosby. Al, even you have to know who Sidney Crosby is, surely.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You do not know who Sidney Crosby is.
All I've been thinking this whole time that you've been talking is I wonder if that Seattle hockey team is part of the NHL, because then I would choose them.
The Seattle Kraken is indeed part of the NHL. They have been for a couple years.
I will do them then.
Okay. No, like Sidney Crosby is like a top 5 NHL player of all time, and he's like a couple months older than I am, which is crazy.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the dude is like, he's a great player. He's a great leader. He's a great community ambassador. He's the best player of our generation, bar none. Connor McDavid is the best player of the next generation, but Crosby is like a top 5 player of all time. I think like he's just an animal, and he's my age, and he still put up 40 goals last year, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I've always really loved Sid. And yeah. So my top 3 would be Flames, Senators, Penguins.
There you go.
All right. Metal Jacket 98. How's about this question, Al? Will Andy get a Tingle pillow? Well, I don't know. Do they make them? I have a story for you.
Okay.
So, when Sam and I first started dating, about a year or so after that, she was cleaning our room. We'd officially moved in together somewhere around this time. She's cleaning our room. And I think we were actually just getting ready. We were going to move apartments. So I'd been living with a roommate, but we were going to move apartments into like our own apartment. Mm-hmm. And you know what Samantha did? She threw out my pillow.
Oh.
She threw it out.
Yeah.
You know, she said it was gross. She said it was all stained and yellow and whatever. And I was like,
okay,
well, it doesn't matter. It's going inside of a pillowcase. Now listen, I had broken this pillow in. It was contoured to my head. It was perfect. This perfect pillow gone. Okay, because Samantha threw it out. I don't know the math, but I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to keep your pillows for like a long time, because it does take up all your dead skin cells and like all the oils on your face. It does go through the pillowcase, and it is kind of gross. Oh, I'd had this pillow since I was like 14. And this is like 29 probably, and she threw it out.
Oh my
and
God.
She's like,
so
it's all yellow.
I'm going to Google how long you should keep a pillow.
Well, okay, so this is where the horrific part of the story comes in. So I have replaced that pillow. So we bought a new pillow, a memory foam pillow, okay?
Yeah.
However, this pillow just is not the same. It's not broken in. It's not shaped for me, okay? And so for years I've been complaining about a pillow. And actually, ironically, Samantha and I had to run some errands yesterday, so we were at the mall, and I was like, I want to find a new pillow because my pillow sucks. And so, we're going in, and I'm like I'm punching the pillows, giving them a little bit of elbow pressure just to see how firm they are.
Yeah, I like firm pillows.
I like firm pillows because I'm a side sleeper. And all these pillows are just like wet towels, except without the part where they get firm after when they're wet. So they were just like these floofy down feather pillows, and I was like, my head is just going to sink, my neck's going to break. And I'll tell you what, if there was a Tingle pillow, I bet you it'd be firm, I bet you'd be hard, and I bet you'd be comfortable. So, yes, I would buy one if there was a pillow available, because I'm still searching for that right pillow. Years later, I bring this up to Samantha all the time. I'm like, I cannot believe you threw out my pillow.
Listen, I'm on Samantha's side about this because you're supposed to get a new pillow every 1 to 2 years, depending on the material of the pillow. Like, if it's a high quality pillow with care, you can keep it longer. But if it's just like a crappy pillow that you got from Walmart, you should not
I
have
don't
it
know
for
where
more
I
than like
got
a
it.
year.
I pulled it out of my aunt's house, and that was just my pillow that I used there, and I brought it with me when I moved.
I'm honestly a little weird about pillows. I bring my own pillow to the marathon. I don't know if you've noticed that. Like, I
Hmm.
always bring my own pillow, and it takes up a lot of room in my suitcase, but I don't care because I want to have my own pillow. And I even like when it like I'm not sleeping with it, I'll bring it down so that I have something to rest my arms on, but also so nobody uses my pillow. I don't want anybody to use my pillow. So I'm a little weird about it. So when you
I
told me
get
that,
it.
I'm like, ew. I'm so glad she threw that away.
Listen, I get it, but like you don't just touch a man's pillow, okay? You don't do it. That's not something that one does. No matter how yellow it is, okay? I oh my god.
You know what
I'm
is a good place for a nice, like, it's like a good in between for a pillow. Like my pillows back here, I get them from Costco. I like their pillows a lot.
we did
You
look
get it like a
we've
set of
looked.
two for like $13.
Yeah, we've looked, but they're all these like flimsy, whimsy, jimsy pillows.
Oh my God, do
I
you like
need I
sitting
need
on a
rock
book or
hard.
something? These are pretty solid pillows.
Al, I have a hard head.
Okay.
I've headbutted you before, right? Like my head is hard. Have I not
Yeah,
headbutted you?
I don't know.
I'm gonna headbutt you
I
next
feel
time I see you.
like
You'll know what I'm
maybe
talking about.
drunkenly you probably have.
Maybe over a game
We're
of
both
poo.
taking tequila shots or something.
Yes. Well, this seems like a good time to move on.
We're talking like we were talking about Tingle, and this way a totally different direction.
It did, yes. But I do. I have a damn hard head, actually. I don't know what that says about me, but my head makes like short work of these soft pillows. I'll tell you that. Okay, this next question is from Dreaded. I remember Andy mentioning a while back that he had once made a Zelda dungeon post making the ultimate Zelda game using the best aspects from each game. For example, Twilight Princess's bosses, etc., etc. If he were to redo that now, what would Tears of the Kingdom's best aspect be? What about Echoes of Wisdom? Great question. And that's a deep cut too, because I did that article. That's an article that's at least 6 years old, I would say. Um, the best aspect. So, what's an aspect of Tears of the Kingdom that it does better than any other game in the series? I mean, I might be tempted to say like the technical like the technical prowess of Tears of the Kingdom is its best aspect. Like the as you were mentioning last week when we kind of got into it a little bit, the like the ability to go from sky to surface to depths like seamlessly is pretty dang impressive. But like I don't know, like I mean I guess that should be the case. It's the latest, it's the latest game in the series, so like you would think that it should have that technical advantage. That might be my answer. This article, by the way, building the ultimate Zelda game using the best parts of previous Zelda games, came out May the 9th, 2017. I just found it.
Oh my God.
So let's
That's almost 8 years ago.
yeah, really quickly, I want to recap this actually. So one thing that we didn't rank was music because I was like that's too subjective, but
True.
so the foundation was Zelda 1. Ocarina of Time would be the control scheme that I picked. Breath of the Wild was the best overworld. Twilight Princess was the best bosses. What else? Skyward Sword, the best story. Majora's Mask, the best atmosphere. Wind Waker, I thought was the best characterization. It's a pretty cool article. Give it a read if you have it. I don't know. What would you say like Tears of the Kingdom is? And then we'll move on to Echoes
Yeah, I
after.
think I would agree with like the technical like feats, but not just the one with like the seamless falling from the sky to the depths, but like being able to ascend is so cool. Like I play other games now and I'm like looking up at a rock and I'm like I really wish I could just like go through that rock now. It's like such a like
Yeah.
habit because of Tears of the Kingdom. So like some of the technical feats and being able to like how you set up that article, I would say like technical ability would be from Tears of the Kingdom, I would say.
I think so too, and I guess it's unfair because like no other game has really tried to do anything on that level, like technically. But I think that would be my answer. Echoes of Wisdom, Hmm.
Smoothies. No, I'm just
Yeah, smoothies. There you go. Um, my thought, and this isn't a perfect thought because I think other games have this as well. But this might just be recency bias. Um, my thought is enemy diversity. Like there's so many unique enemies in that game, and I mean, granted, there's a lot of unique enemies in Zelda One. A Link to the Past. Like every Zelda game has a ton of unique enemies, except for maybe Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But that's what immediately popped in my mind when I was thinking of like what Echoes does better than anyone else. I think I might stick with that. I don't know. What would you say?
I feel like it's hard. My mind immediately went to like the duality of combat style. So being able to choose whether you're going to do the echoes or the sword fighter form. I think having the strategy of combat is a little different in that game. So I feel like that's its strong suit, and I feel like that would be fun in like the best Zelda game, being able to strategize better with your combat versus just going in hacking and slashing. You know.
Yeah, that's a good answer too. I don't know exactly what you'd call that. Maybe?
Me neither. But that's where my brain went.
Combat options, maybe something like that. But I think that's a good answer. And actually, that almost goes hand in hand with enemy diversity too, because you take those enemies in the game and that gives you options. I like that. I think, I mean, like, listen, I think it's going to be harder and harder to kind of nail down like a list like that, because like there's been a lot of games that have come out since I wrote that list. And not every game is going to be the absolute best at something, like Echoes of Wisdom, I think, is a great example. I don't know that I'd say it's the best of any one particular category that we usually do definitive rankings on, but it's solid in every category, and that's not a bad thing. It doesn't need to be the best in everything. So I don't know. It's a good question. I'd love to hear other people's thoughts on that. Metal Jacket 98. Another question. Do you plan on making a Zelda game, or have you ever wanted to? Well, nope. I think we've all wanted to.
Nope, I haven't even wanted to.
Well, here's, like, to answer the question, no, I do not plan on making a Zelda game because I don't know how. I think it's harder than we probably give credit for. I would love to make a Zelda game, though, like those Cyberpunk Zelda games that we did a couple episodes talking about. That would be cool. Like, that would be really wicked to do games like that. Like, that would be so awesome. Actually, I would love that. Yeah, like, I don't know. Even honestly, like, people that make ROM hacks, I'm just like, I play a bunch of ROM hacks for Metroid, some for Zelda, and I'm like, how do people do this?
Yeah, it makes me think of back in like the day, like 2012, 2013, and it could have been going on before this point, but this is when I really noticed it, is like there was this, I don't know if it was a website or software where people could just develop their own little platformer indie games or whatever. I mean, that's what Eve started out as. I don't know if anybody remembers that game. And it came out on the Switch like last year, and I was so excited because I remembered playing it back in 2013. I'm like, somebody made this on like a software that everybody can just make games now. And I'm just like, this is so cool that these tools are available for people to make games. Or like you think about independent, like by themselves developers, like Concerned Ape for Stardew. What was our guy for what's the game called with the little fox in the big world?
Oh, Tunic.
Tunic.
Andrew.
Yeah. Just up and created a game. I think that's amazing. I am not that kind of like I'm not that creative. I know you hate it when I say that, but like I literally say that. I think way too literally and inside the box. I'm not an outside the box thinker, so like I feel like that is really hard. I'm really good if you give me parameters and give me directions. I can do that thing perfectly, but I'm really good at following recipes, but I can't make my own recipes. So
Well, we'd probably be a good development team because I feel like I'm good at like pointing out like the bullet point of like how it should go, but when it comes to like broad details, that's where like I struggle, is like the actual like detail minutia of it. I just like, it is pretty cool. I will say that there's games like RPG Maker or those kind of games that do help you with that. I've never been one though for like in Minecraft, for example. Like I'm not really into Minecraft because I don't really want to build Tears of the Kingdom. Like I don't really love building stuff. Like if it's built, that's great, but I don't I don't derive a lot of enjoyment from like putting it together myself. Like even Super Mario Maker when that came out.
Yeah. Like if they actually created a dungeon maker, like a shrine maker or something with that for Zelda, would you be down? I know we talked about that like a lot. Like if you could make your own shrine.
I mean, I would play it, of course. But I feel like that'd be a lot like Super Mario Maker, where I was more interested in playing what other people had made, not necessarily what I created myself, because I don't think that that's my strength. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, I mean, if someone out there wants to create the Cyberpunk Zelda games, go for it. Give me a writing credit.
That would be really cool. One of my like dream jobs that I don't think I'll ever do is, because I notice stuff in dialogue on video games all the time, like a typo or whatever. I'd love to be an editor for like the dialogue in video games. So like if you're creating a Zelda game, just, hit me up and I'll edit your dialogue and all the text and stuff.
If anyone out there makes video games, you make a ROM hack or something, Allison and I are open for business. We're going to make Hyrule 2049 happen, baby. Let's do it. Hey everyone, if you enjoyed this clip and want to see more of the Zelda Cast, make sure to head over to your favorite podcast platform of choice and subscribe. There are over 200 episodes in the vault that will provide you with hundreds of hours of Zelda content for you to enjoy. You can listen to us when you're on a walk, fighting Ganon, trying to sleep, whatever. And if you want to see these shows as they happen, make sure to head over to twitch.tv/the Zelda Cast, where you can watch our beautiful faces talk about Zelda every single week. Don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.